Everyone, it's Miss Edwards here. We're going to go over another weekly art lesson by me, and this week's art lesson is called the Exquisite Corpse Surrealist Drawing Game. I'm just going to quickly open up our slideshow. Bear with me for a minute. All right, well, welcome to the Exquisite Corpse Surrealist Drawing Game. I'm going to give you a quick history. What is the Exquisite Corpse Drawing Game? It was a game in which people would play and take turns writing or drawing on a sheet of paper. They would fold it and then conceal what they drew and then pass it along to another partner. The game gained popularity in the artistic circles during the 1920s when it was adopted by a group of artists in the Surrealist movement to generate collaborative compositions. Now, you might be asking, what materials will you need? This time you'll need a pencil or pens or any other drawing material, a piece of paper, more if you want to keep playing, and 2 to 4 people who would like to play with you. This can be a family member, somebody that you're quarantined with, someone who would like to participate with you. I think it's a great fun activity that you can do with another person. You can also do it by yourself as well if you need to. All right, some of our art vocabulary terms. One is juxtaposition. Juxtaposition is done by placing things close together or side by side. It's really that if you were sitting next to a partner, that is the juxtaposition of the two of you sitting next to each other. And then you've heard me use this term surrealism. You might have heard this. If you notice this artist in the corner, that is Salvador Dali. It's an art movement that was created in the 20th century. Surrealism would express imaginative dreams and the subconscious. Salvador Dali was an influential surrealist painter. A little history on Salvador Dali is he made paintings, sculptures, films about the dreams he had. He painted melting clocks and floating eyes and clouds that looked like faces and rocks that looked like bodies. Sounds kind of strange, right? Think about what your paintings would look like if you painted your dreams. I bet they'd be pretty strange too. Dali was involved with surrealism. It was an art movement, like I said earlier, that made dream-like scenes and showed situations that would be kind of bizarre or next to impossible in real life. All right. So instructions on how to play the Exquisite Corpse game. Now, Exquisite Corpse is such a strange name. That is just because it is a juxtaposition of multiple things on top of each other. You will take a piece of paper, you will fold it horizontally, just like the sun sets. You'll fold it in thirds or fourths, and one fold essentially for each of the person that's playing the game. You draw a design at the top section and slightly into the edge of the next fold. Your drawing can be a human, an animal, a hybrid creature, a sea monster, etc. I think of it as being very imaginative and kind of playful, and so the more exciting you get if you have a minotaur with a human head and a mermaid with a tail, or you have the minotaur just itself and a portion of it. Just play with whatever kind of imaginative feelings you have. So player 1 would draw the head and the neck. Player 2 would draw torsos and arms. Player 3 would draw legs, and player 4 would draw the feet. Now, if you only have 2 of you and you decide that you want to do thirds, then one person's going to draw twice and one person draws once. If you fold it into fourths, you both get a chance to draw twice. You fold your drawing. This is the biggest piece, is after you've drawn something, you fold it so it's hidden, and then you pass the paper to the next person and ask them to repeat this step. When the round of drawings has been completed, you open the paper to reveal your collaborative drawing. And my favorite part is giving the name for a creature. All right, I want you guys to carefully watch this video. This art teacher explains how to play the Exquisite Corpse drawing game. Here you go.
Exquisite Corpse is a drawing game that uses more than one artist to create a stunningly crazy image. This game was invented by surrealist artists that wanted to create images based on the subconscious and spontaneous marks made by artists. Here are some contemporary examples by artists Jack and Dinos Chapman. And I have never heard of these artists until I started looking more into this technique. This drawing game was a favorite of artist Frida Kahlo, which makes me love it even more. This was also done with poets and writers who would write one word or one line and then pass it to the next person. This game can be played in person, as it was traditionally, or you can do it digitally if you're quarantined away from all of your favorite other artists. If you're doing this IRL, you'll need to divide or fold your paper into 3 sections. The first artist starts with the head, and it can be the head of anything at all. It does not have to be real. It can be from your imagination, or it could just be like what you know how to draw best. When I do this in class, I tell students, if you have a hard time thinking of something, start with an oval and go from there. I'm drawing this ram skull just because, I don't know, I saw a ram skull recently online and I just thought it was a really cool thing to draw. So I'm struggling along to get my details. And I'm keeping it very basic. I'm just using a pencil, but you can use whatever materials that you have laying around. If you're doing this in person, you may want to set a time limit, like 1 minute for each artist, or whatever makes sense for the group that you are with. When I do this in the classroom, I do about 1 minute per section. You will need to include a neck, and you're going to stop at the folded line so the next artist has a guideline to draw the next section. When I do this in the classroom, everyone starts with the head, and then we pass our sketchbooks to the next artist so that everyone's drawing at the same time. So when you fold your paper over, you can see there's 2 lines, and that's where the torso is going to go. For my torso, I'm going to draw a robot body. And there's no surprises here. I'm the only artist in the room, so I'm the only one drawing all 3 sections. That's certainly an option, but it's definitely not as much fun. The whole point of this drawing game is to get unexpected results because you're using the brains and the talents of other people, other artists. The torso is really fun because it's the body, it's the chest, it stops at the waist, but think about what the arms of whatever creature you're drawing could be doing or holding. I always do this drawing game on the first day of class because it's such a perfect warm-up. You can get to know your students, you can see their personalities. Some people think this game is so much fun, and for others it really stresses them out. The last section is for the legs, and you do want to include 2 lines to extend the waist to the legs. Now I'm saying legs here, but this can be the ending to whatever creature you've decided to draw. So I'm doing 2 human-like legs, but it could be a ballet dancer, a squid, a mermaid. It could have a snake body, a horse body. However you want to end the drawing is really up to the last artist. And you can also think about what is the surface that this creature is standing on. For me, there's no surprises because I'm the sad only artist doing this drawing. But the fun part is when you open it up and you see the craziness that 3 artists put together. This is always the most fun because the craziness just cannot be predicted. So I want to do this digitally, and since, like everyone else, I'm quarantined at my house, I sent out messages to some friends and family asking them to draw certain things. My sister-in-law, Kayla, majorly delivered with these legs. Check out those amazing roller skates. My sister Amber, she's been really into digital art, and she made this with her iPad, and it's the cutest kangaroo. And then my brother Daniel sent me this insane head, which is just awesome. He's a graphic designer. So when I put this hilarious man's head on this adorable kangaroo body, it is just hysterical. And you don't need a fancy app or anything to make these combinations. Certainly you could get all involved with Photoshop or Illustrator, or you can just combine the images using a free app on your phone or any of the Google products. And here's one using the head that my brother drew, a torso that I came up with, and then those skating legs of my sister-in-law. The torso and the legs match together really well, but you can see the neck isn't quite as connected. So if you're doing this digitally, you have to let go a little bit and just embrace having fun, drawing the pieces with people, even if they can't be in the same room as you. This collaborative drawing game is so much fun, and it's a great icebreaker for an art class. It's a great way to stay connected with your friends drawing, whether they're in the same room with you or 1,000 miles away like my family. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Your support is awesome.
All right, you've just seen that art teacher create an exquisite corpse drawing game via pencil, but also the digital part. So I would be curious if any of you are able to create anything digitally. I might try and do it separately on an iPad and then show my iPad screen during our live critique, which brings me to the next slide. Here are some examples of exquisite corpse drawings that some students have created. As you can see, you're seeing 3 separate folds for each of these drawings. Now you can do up to 4. Remember, if you have 4 people that you're playing with, you can do up to 4 different sections of drawing. You want each person to have a section to draw. And then lastly, join us for our live art critique on Friday at 2 o'clock. You will find the Zoom link on your teacher's Schoology page on Friday morning. I know last week it was prior to spring break, it was a little difficult getting on, so we have to link the Zoom link on that Friday morning for you to be able to access it at 2 o'clock. I hope you guys have a great time. I hope you have fun creating whatever exquisite corpse drawing game you make with whoever it is that you're sitting in quarantine with. All right, I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday and what creations you made. Don't be afraid to share. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.